Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the Bundesliga Show. Hope everyone's doing well. Me and Mark thought we'd just jump on and have a bit of an impromptu review show, a short recording this of DFB Pokal first round. So we've never really covered it before on the show in the last two seasons. It's something that we've always wanted to do, but we were never too sure how to do it. So this season, just round by round, we're going to go and kind of just do the odd review of it in these short kind of format videos and just see how well it's received. Obviously, it's a brilliant competition, really well known for its cup upsets. And it got obviously underway at the weekend alongside the Super Cup. And both our teams, Mark, we kind of both managed to scrape through, didn't we? So Nuremberg and Stuttgart safely through to round two, which we might touch on a little bit. But we're going to look at, first and foremost, Mark, the cup upsets from this weekend. So probably 3 or 4 massive ones or really noticeable ones to start with. So do you want to pick out one that you thought was, pretty amazing and worth giving a shout out to?
Yeah, I think there were probably two really shock ones, to be honest. I mean, the first one has got to be one of the favourites going into the tournament, Bayer Leverkusen crashing out to Elversberg of the third league. I mean, and what a performance it was as well. I watched the highlights of this game, and I just thought Elversberg were absolutely brilliant in this game. It wasn't like Leverkusen went weak from the start. They went absolutely full throttle. The likes of Patrick Schick, Diaby, even Hlozek, the new signing, obviously he got the first goal, but they were absolutely brilliant at Elversberg. I mean, what a win that is. It looked like a lovely little stadium as well on the TV.
Yeah, nice bit.
Great crowd as well. It's great to see, all those kind of small clubs. They were really kind of packing to get into the ground. And that's one of the things I love about German football, just how good it is even lower down in the leagues as well. A lot of people don't really know just how good it is, but the Pokal really kind of sheds light on that. But what a performance it was. And even right until the last minute, Leverkusen looked like they might get it back to 4-4 and force extra time. But I mean, if that's not a cup classic, I don't know what is, to be honest. That was a brilliant game of football. And then the other one, of course, I'll let you talk about this one, Rory, but it's got to be the game that happened over at Regensburg, not too far from me, actually.
I mean, it was a really fast start by a team that traditionally in recent seasons have been starting their seasons really quick, haven't they? Doing brilliantly in the Spider already. So it was going to be a tough game, I think, for FC Cologne, who obviously fell victim to them. But 2-0 down after 26 minutes. They did claw it back to 2-1 quite quickly after that, though. I think it was Markucci who got the goal for them. Lubicic equalised midway through the second half. So the game went on, and Regensburg, were playing really well. And they took the game to extra time, went all the way through to penalties, and they won 4-3 on pens. It was a Hezeby and Chabot who missed crucially for the away side, Cologne, who got dumped out as well. Two more mentions for teams that were upset. So Hertha Berlin got knocked out. Pretty crazy game as well, this, Mark. So it was 2-2 after full time. So Hertha went 2-0 up. Again, strong team, cruising. The Eintracht Braunschweig. Probably butchering that pronunciation on our Mark.
Great German name, that, isn't it?
It is a brilliant German name.
It was actually good. Your pronunciation was good on that. Yeah.
And then, in extra time, Braunschweig went 3-2 up, but then Hertha came back 4-3 late on. Then there was another equaliser, Brian Henning making it 4-4 to take the game to penalties, which would then go to sudden death. And then Mark-Oliver Kempf, former Stuttgart boy, missed a crucial penalty for Hertha. And then Henning scored the crucial penalty to make it 6-5, and Braunschweig through as well. Greuther Fürth as well, losing again. Things not looking too great for them. Lost to a 5th division side, Stuttgart Kickers. Love the name, at least, Stuttgart Kickers. Some amazing cup upsets. Real credit to those teams who have gone through, and I really hope that they get some favourable draws or some good away draws, maybe at some of the bigger clubs in the second round. That'll be brilliant for them from a financial point of view, or even for their fans travelling. Right, let's move on to some close encounters that we've called this section. So mainly some of the bigger teams kind of getting through by the skin of their teeth, so to speak. Mark, a couple of teams that stood out to you that, big teams that just about kind of got through this time.
Yeah, I think there's two really that stand out for me. Obviously, the first one was on Sunday afternoon. It was Freiburg. But to be honest, when I looked at this fixture, I thought this isn't going to be an easy one for Freiburg, because Kaiserslautern have been obviously promoted to the second league this year, a sleeping giant for years, famously champions. And I think it was 1999 of Germany, when they were actually in their first season from being promoted from this fight. They actually won the title, which was like, they call it the German Leicester story, basically. And I know it's not exactly the same, but it was very similar. Yeah. Massive club with a massive following, full stadium as well at Kaiserslautern, which was brilliant to see. And yeah, they were very, very close to losing the game, Freiburg, as well. Actually, they went behind to a Ritter goal in the first half from Kaiserslautern, who have started to lie back in the second league well too. I think they've taken 4 points from the first two games, from difficult games as well. So they're doing quite well. Then it was actually that man, Mr. Reliable, Roland Salai, who equalised just with about under 10 minutes to go. And then it was actually the new signing on his full debut, Ritsu Doan, in extra time, who just about edged last year's losing cup finalists into the next round. But they'll probably see it as a good kind of test, really, that one, to start off the season. And then the other one has actually just finished as we're recording tonight. Finished a few minutes ago even, actually. And it was Union Berlin, who just about scraped through against Chemnitz, which is really surprised me, to be honest. I thought that was going to be a cakewalk, really, for Union, in truth, but didn't work out that way. They also went behind, but it was actually new signing Sia Dieu who actually got them level just a couple of minutes after going behind. And then it was that man, Kevin Behrens, who struck with about 5 minutes of extra time to go. So it's a very, very similar game, actually, to the one between Kaiserslautern and Freiburg. But yeah, they're the close encounters for me, Rory. What about for you?
Yeah, a couple that stand out. Obviously, my boys just scraped through on Friday, 1-0, thanks to a Darko Sherlin off goal. Maybe we'll see a bit more of him in a Stuttgart shirt this season. Probably mainly close because we didn't take our chances, and Anton got himself sent off, not so helpfully. Another one stood out, Wolfsburg, obviously the shirt behind me there. Got through in the last minute thanks to our Omar Marmouche goal, 90+2. So that was a bit of a heartbreaker for Karl Weiss Jena. Obviously, Stuttgart got past Dynamo Dresden, slightly harder probably contest there. And the 2-1 win as well for Werder, although they were 2-0 up and conceded fairly late on. But yeah, some of those close encounters that happened for some of the Bundesliga and Zweite Bundesliga sides. Moving on then to our last section of the review, with some big wins to give a bit of a shout out to. And there were some, naturally, as you kind of get in these early rounds. So I think we kind of have to give some credit, first of all, to Paderborn, who hit double figures. Again, I'm going to butcher this. So it's Wernigerode, as Marvin Peeringer scored 4 goals himself. 4 of the 10. So yeah, that was pretty dominating display from Paderborn. Very horrible stuff there. Mark, do you want to talk us through probably the other 2 bigger wins?
Yeah, I think obviously the absolute biggest, aside from that, which fair play to Paderborn. I should have worn my Paderborn shirt really today, shouldn't I? But yeah. I think the biggest win for a Bundesliga side was Gladbach winning 9-1 at Oberachern. Yeah. Very, very impressive win. Some big names getting on the score sheet there as well, which is big. The likes of Marcus Thuram banging in a hat-trick, Jonas Hoffmann getting a couple, Lars Stindl, Florian Neuhaus, and Joe Scally as well. So again, it was a full team. Good to see a lot of Bundesliga teams playing the full sides as well. Yeah. But yeah, that's a great start as well for Daniel Farke, because let's be honest, he's not really... A lot of people are not overly convinced whether he's going to do well, but that was a really, really good start, to be honest, with a lot of key names getting on the score sheet as well. Yeah, I think the other one for me was probably Schalke as well, getting a 5-0 win at Bremer SV, which was a pretty impressive win, really, because, this Schalke side doesn't look like it has bags of goals in it, in truth. because, you know, it is a side that for me is going to be a bit more like conservative this season because they don't have probably the best striking lineup ever known to man. Probably the only worry is that new signing Poulter missed a penalty in that game after just 5 minutes. But Drexler, who, you know, a few things will be expected, he's going to be like the playmaker for this side this year. He got a couple of goals. So, I think there's enough in there to be happy for Schalke.
Yeah, good stuff. Shout out as well to Armenia. Obviously, they've had a bit of a struggle at the start of the season. They managed to hit 7 goals past Angers. Again, probably poor pronunciation of that one. And my favourite, Yanni Serra, scoring twice. So well done, Yanni. You've got over the line. Fabian Close with a double as well. Okagawa as well on the score sheet for Armenia. So that'll be a confidence-boosting win for them, of course. Yeah, really looking forward to round 2. Obviously, we'll do the same format as we have done for this one, reviewing it. Just before we end, we should probably pick a winner each, nice and early on for the cup. Then, Mark, what shall I throw into the hat? I've got a feeling that it's probably going to be more of a regular sort of winner this season. I think I'm going to back Dortmund as the shirt's right behind me as well. I'll say Dortmund are going to be cup winners. What about yourself?
Ooh, I actually, you know, funnily enough, before this round, I actually thought Leverkusen were going to have a really good chance. But yeah, that didn't go too well. Let's forget I said that. But yeah. I'm actually going to go for Freiburg to go a step further this year. I just love the look of their squad. And even though they will obviously have European football to play this year as well, I do think they'll see the cup as a big chance to get their first ever piece of silverware as well. So obviously last year making the first ever final in their history. So yeah. Massive effort that for Freiburg, but I do believe that they can go one further, and I do think the squad is even a little bit more strong this year than it was last year with the signings. So yeah, I'm going to go for them.
Good stuff. Well, we're looking forward to the draw, obviously, for round 2. Still have Frankfurt, Bayern, and RB Leipzig to play as we're recording right now. Frankfurt probably just about kicked off, so we'll see what happens with them. But yeah, very much looking to round 2, which we'll do a very similar short video to review it. Hope you enjoyed this new series that we're going to try. Let us know your feedback if you want us to carry on doing this or slightly different format. We, obviously appreciate your feedback. And right, over to Mark, just close up the show and we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, just go through this quickly today. So check out our Twitter. Also check out our main page as well, which is very important to us. And then don't forget to like, comment, to subscribe and help us with that algorithm. So see you next time, guys.
Cheers all.